One of the hardest things for me to admit, especially in the past, was so many of the boundaries that I had in my life were the boundaries that I had created. Now, yes, there are some circumstantial boundaries for sure, but most of mine were based on the fact that I didn't believe in myself, I didn't take chances, and I assumed I would never be successful. And putting those boundaries up quite literally determined that all of those things would come true.
I think you either have too few boundaries or too many. Kev had a slide at a live event years ago where it's a person in the center, him, and a fence around it, and on the outside of the fence was just fear, 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 fear. That's why I think courage is so important, because outside of that fence is opportunity, but if you're too scared to go for it, it's going to be a real problem.
Next Level Nation today for episode number 2030. And I still am if you listen to yesterday's episode, you know I didn't know what episode it was. I'm all over the place, so I think this is right today. How many of your boundaries are self-created? So we did something very unique right before this. We had our monthly meetup. I believe it was month number 40. I think it was number 40. Is that correct? 40. And this month, since the meetup is falling 2 days before Next Level Live, we did kind of like a Next Level Live warm-up. So we didn't really talk about the meetup a ton on here. We didn't really send emails or anything. It was more anybody who is coming to Next Level Live 2025 who wants to have a little warm-up, that's what we're going to do for the meetup. And shout out to Mike. Somebody in the group named Mike said something very powerful, and he was talking about how, particularly for men, therapy seems like something that is very boundaried. It's a high boundary. There's a high barrier to getting into it. As somebody who has gone to therapy myself, you continue to go to therapy today. I think so many of the boundaries, and I don't want to say stigma because the stigma is definitely there. I'll leave it at that. So many of the boundaries that I had for therapy were my own boundaries. They were my own creation.
Are we using boundary instead of barrier?
Barrier, boundary.
Because boundaries are a good thing.
I can fuck up 2 episodes in a row. It's not the end of the world.
Kev,
barrier.
Limitations and barriers. Boundaries are, this whole time I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, boundaries are a good thing.
Guys,
not having boundaries means you let people
means
you let people walk all over you.
Well, I was thinking how many boundaries keep people out, but they also keep you from expanding.
Do you think barrier to entry would be better?
Oh,
Barriers.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, of course. 100%, but I had to fight for my right to party.
Of course, obviously.
So, today's episode is actually going to be called How Many of Your Barriers Are Self-Created? But we're going to keep running it because, again, how many credit hits can I take in 1 week?
Well, there you go. There you go, right? Messy, massive action. Okay, so the barrier to entry for men for getting a therapist is very high. I did relationship talks coaching with a couple 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago. And the man in the relationship definitely, I don't want to say needed therapy, would benefit from therapy. Everyone would benefit from therapy. The question is to what extent and how much. Do you have the right therapist? Is it the right modality? IFS, CBT, all this different stuff. So when Emilia suggested therapy to me, she suggested a modality called internal family systems. And my therapist named Carol, it's been tremendous. Highly recommend internal family systems and or CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Again, Kevin and I are coaches, not therapists, but it's powerful. Both are powerful. This client, we coached the couple, and the female in the relationship was far more emotionally mature. She understood her emotions, she understood her triggers, she understood her shame, she understood how to handle the storms of her own hormones and her challenges. And the man in the relationship had a really hard time with self-awareness and with emotional regulation and the ability to kind of understand what the hell's going on when he's triggered. And so he would shut down and this whole thing. And I think that that's really the problem here. Men get shamed for being emotional. Men get shamed for, and I've used this reference many times, I think that one of the reasons why women mature faster than men is self-reflection through having a diary. I am convinced of that. I had a client reach out with a journal entry earlier. She's a female, and I said it on the last episode that we recorded earlier today. I'm pretty sure I read the journal entry. Was that yesterday? Or?
Dude, I can't even get the fucking names right. I think I remember what episode it was. You know?
All right, no stress. But we journal every day, and I've been screwing up on my
stressed.
Dreamliner.
I am stressed. I need you to know I am stressed that I can't figure out what episode is what.
Well, we're powering through. So we have the Next Level Dreamliner, and Kevin and I both have one. We haven't been using it lately because we are just being inconsistent and overwhelmed right now. But I intend on, after this live event, getting back to it. Right there, Next Level Dreamliner. My point of this is that that's a journal. That's like having a diary. And the barrier to entry for men with therapy, we talked about the enculturation of men with feelings, and you're soft if you have feeling, all this stuff. And one person on the meetup actually ended up having tears fly, and I think that's a really beautiful thing. So men crying is quote unquote soft, or men having a therapist, people look at you differently. And I do remember having a little bit of whatever that is when I first started saying I have a therapist. I had a little bit of, are people going to think I'm soft? And the truth is, some people will.
What do you think now?
I think some people, okay, I'll share this. I think this is very relevant. My favorite movie is The Lion King. I know for a fact that's going to come off soft to people. I have a therapist. Okay. I know in my real life that I'm not soft. I know that in my real life I'm actually stronger than I've ever been. But in the social world, for sure. For sure that's going to come off as, seriously? Your favorite movie is The Lion King? And you have a therapist? That is happening, but with people that obviously are ignorant, and that's okay. And I think that there's a big difference between saying, oh no, having a therapist is not soft at all, and no one thinks that. That's ignorant. People do think that.
For sure.
And you have to accept that. I think there's strength in accepting what is. I don't like this delusional, no, people don't dislike you. No, they do, and that's okay. And I want to accept it. I think there's strength and power in accepting the truth for what it is, and then working with it instead of pretending it doesn't exist.
I'm super excited to get a therapist, and I'm super excited to talk about it. I think I'm just weird when it comes to that. But I don't... come at me, bro. What do you mean? Like, by definition, it's hard to do. If you do it, that makes you strong, not weak. I think when you run away from your feelings, you're weak, not when you run towards them. But again, I understand that's not maybe the common
That's not the majority, I don't think.
No, but I think it could be. I think we can get to a place where, look, if you came to me and you're like, yeah, man, I'm so excited I got a therapist, and I immediately knocked you down, like that perpetuates the problem. But I love that you have a therapist. I'm super excited to get a therapist.
You know how you said to me early on that I give people permission to dream?
Yes.
I feel like you give people permission to struggle.
I appreciate that.
Well, it's an interesting combo you and I have, where I give people permission to dream because I believe in possibilities and potential and human potential, and I believe in people so much. And in order to succeed, you basically have to struggle a lot. And so you need both. We said this at the meetup right before this, 20 minutes ago. Well, an hour and 20 minutes ago, because the meetup was an hour. But I opened with, there's a new person in our community who's never been to anything NLU before. Shout out to you if you're listening, because that's where she came from, the podcast. And I said, you came at an interesting time, but I want you to know, this is not recorded. This is private. We're going to talk about what's real, and it's okay to succeed and celebrate here. I pulled up a photo of Kev looking jacked. It's awesome. We celebrate success here. We celebrate achievements here. I have my bodybuilding trophies behind me. Achievement is a great thing. Success is a great thing here, but so is struggle. Yeah. Success and struggle, they go hand in hand. And I think most communities celebrate one, not the other.
Well, I think when people get to a certain level of success, I think they lose empathy for the struggle at the beginning. I really do. I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah.
Or it's just...
I'm guilty of that, for sure.
Less now than ever.
I would agree. Yeah.
Less now than ever. But that's why this episode, it easily could be named All of Your Barriers Are Self-Created. That's not true. I don't believe that. Now, are there layers of like, well, you're 80 and you didn't take care of yourself and now you can't walk up the stairs and now, yeah, I guess you can do that, right? You could.
It's both.
It's both. The reason I wanted to do this episode, number one, this is what I wanted to talk about. I named it incorrectly based on just it's been mayhem, but I say this all the time. I had a ton of people that believed in me when I was young. I never had anybody tell me, like, don't do that. My mom was fully supportive that I didn't want to go to college. My mom was fully supportive that I want to be a professional fighter, even though she didn't like it. She was fully supportive of that.
Yeah.
Most of the dead ends that I found myself in were my own doing. They were of my own doing. They were of my own ignorance. They were the lack of awareness. It was a lack of belief. It was a lack of quality decisions. I'm not saying that's everybody's experience.
Hello, NLU listener. Thank you, as always, for listening to Next Level University. Real quick, I just want to jump in and let you know about the Next Level Dreamliner. This is a journal that I use every single day. Achieve your dreams 90 days at a time. It breaks down your dreams into goals, milestones, and daily habits. We hope you enjoy it. The link will be in the show notes.
I think it was very important for me to own that. And I try to say that all the time. I know my story didn't have a lot of opportunity, somehow became successful, and then then ended up trading all that in to do this. Yes, but the thing that I want to make sure that always gets recorded and understood is I was the barrier to most of my success. And when I started working on that, that's when things started to work better. And I think that's really, really important. For me, if I don't get a therapist, it has nothing to do with the social judgment.
Yeah,
it would be this will be in my own barrier if I don't get a therapist. It has nothing to do with that.
This came up for me, and this is a podcast where we really care a lot about self-awareness. So everyone out there watching or listening, ask yourself this. Kev felt like people believed in himself. No, people believed in him more than he believed in himself.
For sure.
Is that fair?
100%.
I always felt like people believed in me a lot less than I believed in myself. I think that's I don't know why that matters yet, but for anyone out there watching or listening, did other people believe in you more than you believe in yourself? Or did you believe in yourself way freaking more than other people believed in you? I always felt like everyone sold me short. I always felt like I believed in myself way more than anyone else believed in me. I still feel that way, actually.
Well, then it's a question of, is it because you had super high self-belief and I had super low self-belief? So anybody who had any level of belief in me believes in me more than I believed in myself?
Yeah, I
and
think
who's
that's
gonna
what it is.
Who's gonna believe in you more than you believe in you?
Emilia.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah,
but that's only because she believes in herself more than you believe in yourself.
I know. Well, this is a trip. I'll share this quickly. Whenever I'll have a big W, whatever it is, of course, like, sweetheart.
Yeah, you
I
do the
bled
same
for that.
you
I
do the
know.
same
I do
shit
that to
me.
you all the time. Yeah, 100%. That's my point. And I did that to her yesterday. She's got this aerospace company she might be working with, and again, it's going to be a big deal. It's awesome, and she's doing leadership coaching. It's unbelievable. But she came to me and she shared a win about having, this huge success, and we were in the car outside the gym, and I was like, I made the mistake of not celebrating first. Because she told me, hey, this is the biggest quarter for the company, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I was like, sweetheart, my brain, I already knew that. Like, I track your numbers in my head all the time. And she's like, can we celebrate the win? And then we realized in that moment that we do that to each other on accident. Of course it's the biggest quarter. What do you think we've been doing? Because we track everything. And again, bringing it back to the point for the listener. If you feel like you believe in yourself way more than other people believe in you, you probably do have really high self-belief, or you're delusional, and I've been both. And if you feel like other people believe in you more than you believe in yourself, I would love to talk about what that's like. Like, what is that even like?
Honestly, I feel like it feels pretty negative. Because it's almost like people think they have the answer to your problem, and they're just like, you just got to believe in yourself more. It's like, yeah, I know, I understand. I do. I'm working on it. But your outside perspective telling me that I need to believe. It's like, Have you ever just thought of like not being anxious? Oh, no, never. No, I've never contemplated that before. That's a thing? Have you ever thought of like, well, maybe if you thought more positively, you wouldn't be depressed? It's like, okay, I can tell you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I can tell you don't know what you're talking about. So it's almost that. It's like, I know in this fairy tale land, you think that's going to help, but it's not. It's not. I appreciate it. Like, thank you. You know, oh, you could accomplish so much more if you just set your mind to it. It's like, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. So
Do
yeah,
I do that to you?
Not anymore.
Did
Not
I used
anymore.
to?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, shit.
For sure. It's like, Kev, you just got to like believe in yourself more. It's like, yeah, no, dude, I know.
This is what people say to me all the time. This is just to be relatable here. Relate to you in this moment, but different. I get this all the time. Oh, no. People like you. Oh, people totally like you. Yeah, no. Just, no one dislikes you. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, my God. I had a student reach out to me, and he's like, I don't know why you think people don't like you. Brother, you don't. Okay? It's fine. You know, you just don't. And it's okay. Like, I'm not trying to, it's just like when Kev's trying to get coached by somebody, and he's like, no, I get it.
No,
I get
understand.
it.
I know what you're saying.
I know what you're saying,
good.
but that's not, I'm good. That's the reason why I think people don't share vulnerable truths. Because think about how vulnerable that is to say, I know I'm not a super likable person. No one says that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then people come and they try to save you from it. Like, no, like, I like you. No, I know you do. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in general, I'm not an easily likable guy. I'm intimidating. No, you're not intimidating. They try to save you from it. My lights are going nuts. But the truth is, I just don't think they're aware enough to know the difference in them and others. My lights are still wild.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, neither do I.
If there's any lighting specialists that are watching this, let us know why Alan turns on the sun occasionally. We don't get it.
It's the Sony ZV-1, by the way. If anyone does reach out, I just want you to have the right data. 2 bulbs, 220 watts. I'm literally joking. But it is a Sony ZV-1. The layers of self-awareness, when you're out in the world and you share something you're going through or struggling with, it's very hard to do that without everybody else sort of thinking they know what's best for you. And again, I've been guilty of that in the past too. I get it. And I'm a coach, so it's hard for me not to put that hat on because I actually do feel very confident at this stage, 7,000 coaching sessions plus in, where I feel like I can help all the different walks of life. And I feel like I understand the differences because of all the different industries and different cultures and different backgrounds and different countries and all the different nuances and the different core wounds and all that stuff. So I actually do feel, ironically, I'm in a place in my life where I am less likely to jump into coaching someone, but yet I'm actually the most capable I've ever been as a coach. So,
well, you need permission.
The permission piece is definitely important. Somebody
asked me that one time. They said, what is something about adding value that people don't understand? I was like, I've never been asked that question. I don't even know if I have an answer. And I was like, let me sit with it for a second. And I said, it requires permission. You cannot add value into someone's life unless they give you permission because they won't let you. You could have the nugget of truth that they've been waiting their whole life for. If they don't accept it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's so true.
It doesn't count.
I think that's why the meetup went so well too, is everyone, when you get a ticket to Next Level Live, that's essentially giving us permission to pour into your life. And I think that's a really big opportunity for us in the future to remember.
I would agree. All right, my next level,
more than you.
My next level lesson would be, 1, make sure you know the episodes before you record them, because 2 in a row, I don't know if I've ever done that. I probably have back in the day. I would say, I think there's two ways to look at problems, and I think one great way to start, and again, simple. I'm not saying this is going to change things overnight. Is this of my doing, and how much responsibility should I hold for this? I'm not saying, look, if the economy sucks, things get harder. I'm not saying that there isn't some external circumstance that affects us. I'm not saying that. Like, things are expensive. I understand completely. And I want to make sure that you give credit to that, but not all of the credit. Because if you give all of the credit to that, if you give all of the reasoning to that, then you lose the responsibility to improve the things that you can. Even if you can't improve everything, there are some things that you can improve. So anytime there's an issue, I think a good place to start is, what role or responsibility did I play in creating this issue? And if I created this issue, I'm also most likely capable of finding a way to climb out of this hole.
Yeah, for sure. I was on with a client earlier. We did this question. Are you more focused on what you can control or what you can't control?
Right.
And I would say try your best to focus the majority of your time and effort on things that are within your control. And that will help you tremendously to overcome these barriers.
All right. Group coaching starts April 15th. We'll have the link in the show notes. Next Level Podcast Accelerator. So if you're a podcaster who is looking to level up your podcast, you want to level up yourself first, new skills, new awarenesses, all that happy jazz. Then we'll talk about podcasting, behind the scenes stuff, logistics, how to track the data, naming episodes, all that stuff, figuring out who your audience is, all that stuff. And then the final 2 sessions, technically 4 sessions, is level up your business. So if you're somebody who has a podcast, you want to turn it into a business, bada bing, bada boom. We'll have the link in the show notes for that. Starts April 15th.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
12 weeks, it comes to less than $25 per session with the promo code NLU Listener. Make sure you use the promo code NLU Listener. The link will be in the show notes.
As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we don't have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Keep it next level. Next Level Nation.